Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May.
Welcome to Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach and lash educator, and I am so stoked to be back recording episodes again. I took a little break because I just had my third baby a little over a month ago, and it's been crazy, honestly. It's been really fun, and I've really learned a lot from my experiences in the last month, and I'm really excited to share some of those stories with you, and I've got some future episodes planned for that. But I thought we would kick it off, get back into it with an episode about engagement on Instagram, or just social media in general, I guess, because I have been having conversations about this in my DMs with my students and my coaching containers, and like in person with my fellow beauty business owners, and just like business owners in general, or content creators in general. A lot of them are like, I'm just really getting low engagement on Instagram. Can you take a look? Give me some feedback. What do you think? Like, just really been talking about this a lot. And it's really interesting for me because I can look at content and like see why it has low engagement, or like pinpoint some reasons why it might be not be performing as well. And I can even do this with my own content. Like I can look at my old content and be like, well, that's why that one didn't do as great. And that's okay. Like, it's normal and it's fine to have content that doesn't get as good of engagement or doesn't perform as well. But this is something that we can like talk about. So here's a few, just off the top of my head, reasons why like a post might not do as well or get as good of engagement. So just a few things, like random quotes. There's just really nothing to engage with there. They're just read it. Okay, great. Scroll right on past. And typically random quotes get used just as like fillers on the page, and there's just really no purpose behind them, and it just gets low engagement. So the next one is that it speaks to the wrong audience. So as a locally based service provider, we need local potential clients to be following us, engaging with our content, and booking appointments with us, right? And so if we are posting content that's like geared towards other beauty professionals, like a lash formula or the hair formula, or like what brands of products that you're using, or like industry lingo, industry talk, things like that, like that's not going to connect with local potential clients. They have no idea what any of that is. They do not understand like CC 0.07, 8 to 12 to 10. Like that means nothing to them. And they're going to potentially maybe read that, probably not read that, and then keep on scrolling right past it. So we've got to make sure that our content is geared towards the people who we want to be booking with us or buying from us or working with us, right? And then the third one, just as another example that I see often, is that the posts just really have nothing to engage with on them. It could be like a bunch of pictures of like up close eye shots, or like hair pictures or nail pictures or whatever. And some of them just have hashtags on them. Some of them have like the service name and a bunch of hashtags, or like a quote or a sentence or two about the service or whatever. And there's just really nothing there for people to really like connect with or engage with at all. Like there's nothing that's going to make them want to stop and comment on it, or like it, or share it, or save it, or click through to DM you, or click through to your website to book with you. Like there's just nothing there to engage with, and so it gets low engagement. So those are just a few quick examples of like why a post might be getting low engagement. Obviously there's other reasons that it could be as well, but those are just some of the most common ones that I see. But as we're talking about engagement, I do want to make the point before we get into talking about it more that like views and followers and likes do not equate to bookings. They don't equate to making sales. And the people that do get a lot of views or likes or comments, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily making sales or getting booked, because you don't need high numbers of these things to be able to be successful with marketing your business online and making sales and getting booked and such. But if you do want to create engagement on your page that will drive sales and bookings, what you actually need to focus on is creating community and connection with your content and your page, because community and connection are what drive sales and drives engagement and sales on social media. And that's because social media is social. So when you're using it in a social way to create that community, to create that connection, that's what's going to help you to be successful on these platforms. So you're probably like, okay, great, Erica. Now, how do I create community and connection? This is what we're going to talk about today. So first and foremost, you got to have the right audience. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, this is my first question to people. If they are struggling to like make socials work for them, if they're struggling to make sales or get bookings, it's like, who are your ideal clients or who are your ideal students? And do you have people who fit that criteria following your page? Because they need local potential clients booking with them, right? They need people in their area to be booking with them and coming in for appointments, but they don't have people in their area that are following them or like seeing their posts on social media. So that can be like a big problem. So that's the first and foremost. We want to make sure that you have the right audience on your page. Then the next thing is, are you creating content with these people in mind? So if you have the local followers, right? And then let's say, like we were talking about earlier, you're creating content that really speaks more to other beauty professionals instead, then that can be a disconnect where you're getting low engagement and not getting bookings, right? So you want to create your content like you are talking to a new friend who doesn't know anything about your services and is still trying to get to know you, right? So you want your content to be friendly and relatable and understandable and like not industry lingo, and like explain things in a way that it's going to make sense to somebody who just has never heard of cheesy lights before, has never heard of luminary before, has never heard of eyelash extensions before. Like, you want to make it super understandable to them, because generally speaking, potential clients just know what end look they want, and that's about it. And they don't necessarily know like which service is going to get them that end look. They don't know a whole lot about like the technical details, the technique, or the artistry behind it. They just know what they want to look like in the end, right? And so you really just want to make sure it's understandable, it relates to them, it connects with them, it lands well with them, and that it's like friendly. They can kind of get to know you a little bit. It's not like they have to like be your best friend and you got to let them in on all your deep dark secrets. It's just let them get to know you at least a little bit, right? And then the next thing to think about is like, do you show up in your content and your stories? Like, because including yourself in your content, like showing your face, will always lead to more engagement on social media. Like, I don't know if you've ever posted a picture of yourself before, posted a reel of yourself, or talked on your stories, and have like ever like looked at the insights on those posts compared to like pictures of your work or graphics or other types of content. But like, at least for me, it is always performing better anytime I show my face. Like, always gets a lot more likes, a lot more comments, a lot more engagement on it. And that's because social media's point is quite literally to be social and just to be freaking you. Like, we get so scared to show up online, but then we wonder like why we aren't getting booked. And what I want you to think about in this case is like, what could happen if you weren't so scared of what other people would think? So that's a huge part, I feel like, of why we get scared to show up with our faces online, is we're like worried about getting judged or criticized or what we look like, or get scared of being seen or things like that. And it's just like, for what? One way to think about this is like, when you first were learning services and first started taking clients, you were probably like pretty nervous to go and take clients, right? Like, it was probably really nerve-wracking to take your first few clients until you did it and like got comfortable with it and gained some confidence with it. And that's kind of like the same thing with showing your face online. Like, it's a little scary at first. It's a little nerve-wracking to begin with, or it could be a lot nerve-wracking or a lot scary, right? But it's like you get on there and you do it and you practice and you gain confidence in it, and you just keep going and it gets better and better. And then just like taking clients and doing services, it becomes second nature and it's not as nerve-wracking. Like, you might get nervous every now and again. Like, sometimes I get a little bit nervous, like just the second before I hit the go live button on Instagram and things like that. But generally speaking, it's something that isn't a big scary deal anymore. And it's just like you go out there and you start where you're at and you do it, and it gets better and better, and you practice and gain your confidence with it. And that's like the same thing with showing up on social media. You just gotta go out there and do it. So that's my encouragement for you. If you are someone who is scared to show your face on social media, just to not let that fear hold you back from your goals, because it's like, which is more important, your goals and growing your business, or your fear of showing up online or being judged by others or what other people might think or whatever else that might be. And then number 4, the next one is, how do you interact with others online? Because my thing and how I look at it is that you want to interact how you want to be interacted with. Like, if you want people liking your posts and commenting on your things and responding to your stories and interacting and engaging with your content, like, go out there and give out that same energy to everyone else. Like, be commenting on people's posts, be liking them, be responding to stories, like, be engaging with people's content, and then that energy will come right back to you. Like, that effort will come back to you as well, and people will be more likely to comment on your stuff and engage with your things, and like, just, you're giving out the energy that you want to receive in return and giving out the interaction that you want to receive in return. And I find that really helps me to be able to get better engagement, not only because people are like commenting and responding and they like are more likely to want to engage with me, but just also because when you are engaging with people on Instagram, when you are DMing them or commenting back and forth with them, or interacting with people online, and this is not just Instagram, this is like TikTok or Facebook or any other platform, right? I think when you're engaging with people, the algorithm picks up on the fact that like, oh, they are talking, they like each other, or, like they are having conversations, whatever it might be. And then they're like, okay, great. They probably want to see each other's content. So then it puts your content at the top of their page and your stories at the beginning of their feed. And then it puts their content at the top of your page and their content at the beginning of their stories feeds. Did I say that right? I think so. Anyway, you get my point. But essentially, it's going to like put your content at the top of their feed. It's going to put their content at the top of your feed, so you can keep interacting with them. They can keep interacting with you. They're seeing your content, and it's kind of like a win-win situation, right? So then not only are you getting better engagement because you're giving that out, but also it gets your posts seen more, which then can also lead to better engagement and also more bookings or sales being made because your content is being seen by the right people. So that's something that I'm a big believer in, is interact the way that you want to be interacted with. And the way I look at it, you're just going out there and trying to make friends with the people that are your potential clients or your potential students, or like the audience that you want to target. Like, you're just going out there, you're being social, you're interacting, you're making friends with them online. That's how I look at it. And, the next thing that I wanted to point out too is just like, if what you're doing right now isn't working, like if you're not getting the engagement you want, if you're not getting the bookings or sales that you want, like, then you've got to adjust what you're doing. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting like different results from it. So if that's you, then it's like, okay, let's explore, let's experiment, let's try something new. Like, let's have some fun with it and test out some different things. And that was something that was big for me when it came to like when I built my clientele in 6 months. was the fact that like I knew what I was doing before hadn't been working, so I was testing out new things and I was pulling inspiration from other industries. I wasn't just getting caught in this box of what I saw all my other beauty professional friends doing. I was like pulling from other places, listening to podcasts from outside of the industry, following coaches from outside of the industry, pulling inspiration from other places to be able to try different things and not get caught in this box, because I know I have in the past like done what other people were doing and thought that maybe that would help me out, and it was like, well, copying others didn't really work out for me that well, so what can I do? So I was pulling inspiration from other places, having some fun with it, experimenting, trying something new, and sometimes you still fall flat with that, but you're figuring it out, like, does this work well or not? And if it's not something that works well, then you can adjust it and try again. If it is something that works well, then you can take that and say, okay, hey, how can I take what worked for me and do that again, to repeat it and make it like a repeatable system that you can rely on to get better engagement and get more bookings from Instagram and such. So, figure out what's working, figure out what's not, try new things, explore, experiment, and just have some fun with it, honestly. And the next thing I think is important to remember with our social media is that we are selling solutions, not services. Like, your social media isn't meant to just be like a boring sales catalog where it's like pictures of the products or services and like the pricing and description. Make it like a fun magazine instead. Like, you're telling stories, you're sharing why this is going to help their day-to-day lives. Like, our services really are solutions for people. And when you view it in that lens and market from that perspective, it really changes the way that you are able to build your clientele and the types of clients that you attract from it as well. Because you're not just selling based off of your prices, you're selling like the outcome, the solution, and that really attracts higher quality clients as well. And another thing that I think is great to think about is like, how do you like to be sold to? Like, what feels authentic to you? Who do you like to follow on social media and why? What makes you like to follow the people that you do? When they're talking on their stories and sharing things on their stories, or I like this person, the way they approach reels and they do reels or TikToks or whatever it might be. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe you can use that as inspiration for your own page. Because if you like to consume content in the way of like stories, then it's like, okay, maybe I should be showing up and talking on my stories more, and like figuring out what feels authentic for you and just figuring out how you like to consume content, how you like to be sold to, and take it from that approach and pull that into your strategy for things. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is just that like showing up in your stories too. This is where like engagement gold happens. Stories is a really great place to be showing up and talking and like showing the behind the scenes things. And honestly, I think more people watch stories than view like feed posts. And I've also read before that like stories is the number one place where sales happen on Instagram. And it's a really great place to be like nurturing your audience and being able to make sales and get bookings and things, especially if you have the right audience following you, you're speaking to the correct audience in your content, and you are sharing like the solutions of your services, like the solutions that it has, and just really connecting with people and being authentic to who you are and being yourself. So those are some of my thoughts on engagement on Instagram and just the way that I view things and how like I approach it. And I just really think that when you are yourself and you are going out there and just genuinely trying to make friends with people online, that it makes a world of difference in being able to increase the engagement that you get on your page, which can also then increase the bookings and the sales and the conversions that you make from your social media pages. And if you feel like you're really just getting low engagement, like really take this to heart and go back and look, okay, do I have the right audience? Is my content created for them? Like, am I being myself? Am I showing up as me? And like, how am I interacting with others? And see if you can pinpoint some reasons why like your content might be getting low engagement, and try something new. Try and explore, experiment, have some fun with it, and see what you can do to up the engagement and get yourself better bookings because of it. And if you're someone who really struggles with like creating connection or creating community in your social media content, but you do want to have better engagement and get more bookings from social media and be able to turn your followers into full paying clients, I have a free masterclass for you called the Attraction Masterclass, where I teach you all about like the content strategy behind being able to turn your followers into full paying clients, which is all about creating connection in your content. And so I have that free masterclass for you. I'm going to link it in the show notes below so that you can go watch it. So if you try any of this out, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on this as always. And come hang out with me on Instagram. I'm in my stories frequently. My page is XO Erica Schramm. I will link it in the show notes below. But thank you for listening today. If you have any friends who are struggling with this topic, engagement on Instagram, I would love for you to share the episode with them. And just thank you for being here. I am super excited to be back and bringing you new episodes again. If you have any topic requests, be sure to send them over to me on Instagram, or I have a page on my website where you can be submitting them. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for listening.